What's up guys, it's Lord of the Cubes, and if you're watching this video, then there's a good chance you don't know what this puzzle is, so let me explain that today. This is the basic gem. It's a puzzle I bought from BenPuzzles, whose channel will be linked in the description, and basically the concept behind this design is that it's like a Diane Gem 6, but taken down to the simplest possible level, which is why it's in the shape of a truncated triangular bipyramid with only 9 faces. It has 6 axes of rotation, which are these square faces right here. There's 3 of those. And these equatorial edges in between the pentagons, which also there's only 3 of those. Another really cool thing about this puzzle is that it has stored cuts, meaning that like these cuts here, like the ones in between these pieces, can't actually move unless you do a 90-degree rotation on a square face first, and then they can be separated. Mechanically, that's not super unique, but it's just not something that most puzzles have. And the appearance of it is also just really cool. These irregular pentagons have a Pyraminx crystal-like appearance, as you can see, even though not all of the lines would actually be straight, while the square faces look like a Fisher cube, which is really neat. I don't normally make a whole video just for one puzzle, but this one's a pretty special addition to my collection because it is the first puzzle in my collection, and the only one so far, to be printed in SLS. I don't remember off the top of my head what that stands for, but I'm gonna put it on screen now. And basically, it's a method of 3D printing that involves lasers melting powder into place layer by layer to form a shape for each piece. It's very different from FDM, which I use, and it is also much more expensive, much more fragile, and much more light than FDM prints. And I mean it when I say expensive. I spent a fortune on this puzzle. What I wish I knew before I bought it though was that I would have to iron on all of the stickers. I specifically asked Ben to give it to me unstickered so I could use my own color scheme, but then when I tried to put on the stickers on, they kept falling off. So I messaged Ben about it saying like, hey, what gives? And he was like, oh, you have to iron the stickers on. And I was like, what? But apparently that's something you have to do with SLS puzzles. It was really interesting to get to experience this other side of 3D printed puzzles that I've never really touched on before because I just do FDM puzzles all the time. But now I have an SLS puzzle in my collection, and I can confidently say that I won't be making any in the future based on not only the price, but also the added effort you need to get the stickers on. I guess they just need heat to stick to the surface, but I'm not really sure how that works. Anyway, if you've ever tried out an SLS puzzle before and you've noticed that these stickers have like a texture, that's why. I never knew any of this until I bought this puzzle. I first tried out this puzzle at Worlds and it's super fun to solve. I did want one in my own color scheme, which is what this is. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments, but I'm happy with it and I'm going to be using it for this shape from now on. But it is super fun to solve, so I think I'm going to solve it in this video. Let's scramble it up real quick. Alrighty, that looks pretty scrambled to me. Anyway, basically the first thing I do is solve these 3 square faces, and I solve them kind of like a fissured version of a 3x3x2, because all you have to do really is just position the edges on each face and then solve the corners of each face kind of like you would on a 3x3x2. The algorithm you would do to get this to go here is R, U, R, U prime, R, and now it's in there. So you can basically just do that with all of the corners on all 3 sides. So let's do that. All right, now I've solved all 3 of these square faces. A couple of our pent edges did get messed up along the way, but that's okay, because now we're going to be solving the rest of them. Basically, you can just do intuitive Pyraminx crystal alloys with square face rotations to get these pentagon edges back in between where they're supposed to go. So this yellow and green edge goes here in the yellow and green. You can just do sledgehammers to get it there. And that goes for pretty much every edge on this puzzle. It appears that we have a 2-2 swap now, so I'm just going to try to get them all back to their correct locations and worry about rotations later. Alright, and now it seems that we have 2 flipped edges, so we're just going to rotate this edge, move this one down, rotate this edge, and undo the moves we did earlier. And now we have solved the basic gem. That's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to check out and subscribe to BenPuzzles' channel, as well as my own designs, because I also make puzzles. Like I said, I FDM print them, and I've got a lot of really cool designs coming up, so make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you don't miss it. I'm trying to get to 2K subs this year. And on that note, this is Lord of the Cubes, signing off.